What's good, everyone? Welcome back to FaShaun, episode 20, I believe. Today, we're going to be focusing on a very popular hat that I was able to pick up for cheap on Facebook Marketplace. Wanted it to review for everyone here and to really answer the question, is it basic or is it not? Should you rock basic stuff, even if you like it, or sometimes maybe if you don't like it and you want to know how to style it? This episode, we will be focusing in on the Arc'teryx Bird Toque. So here it is. Let me see if I can do this in a better way. This is, I believe, the white and the sage, more of a beige cream than anything. It's been worn by the previous user and is stretched out, so it's nice and doesn't give me a headache. You can see here, let's see if I can get that on camera, hold on. So you can see here that it is, let's see, pretty much 50% wool, 50% polyester, probably because it's going to be used in sports and it needs to be as durable as possible. This hat is essentially going to be used mostly predominantly for sports, and because of that, it has gained a reputation. The vibe of it is that if you wear this, you are sporty in some sort of way. Again, in clothes cognition, I talked about it before, what you wear really speaks about you, which is why a lot of people want to have the epitome of I play sports, and this is one of them. I get that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you gotta have this one. This is just the most popular one. I will say this is the color that I would go with if I was buying one, just because I think it has kind of the best color combination of the cream with the beige. They're kind of complementary to each other, and they're different kind of shades of each other. Some, beige is a little bit darker than cream, but has similar characteristics. But I would definitely say, I think it's well built. I think it feels good in the hand. Again, this one was broken in already, so it doesn't give me a headache. And it cuts off right at the brow, so it still shows a little bit of your hair at the back, which is nice if you got some flow. But yeah, I like it. Going into the purchase rationale, I wasn't looking to buy this at retail. I don't think you should either. I caught a Facebook Marketplace steal right when it dropped. Some guy was selling a bunch of bird toques, authentic bird toques, and they were well worn, and he sold me this for 35 Canadian, which is like half the price of retail, which I'll take. Just a quick wash and you're pretty much good to go. That's what I would recommend is, again, as always, buying vintage. Vintage is going to be so much easier, better. You're going to feel better about the purchase too, because the money goes to somebody rather than buying new. But it's a sold out color. I don't know if they're bringing back this color. And that's kind of why I wanted it. And then it's a beater hat, right? It's a hat that I use in the gym, hat that I use when I ski or snowboard. It can fit under a helmet very well. And it can, I release a lot of heat, so anything heavier than this is kind of hard for me to wear sometimes. So this is good because it's breathable as well, which I really like. Going forward into the market analysis, as you know, we go cheap, mid, expensive. I have a couple of options actually at each price point. I think that should be good if you don't want to be basic, I guess, and buy this one, or maybe you can find one on Facebook Marketplace yourself. So for the cheap one, I have the Carhartt Work in Progress Helix Beanie. So this is cheap, it's a good design. I think it's 100% polyester, don't quote me on that one just yet, but pretty much half the price of this retail, and you'll get it new, and it's still from a storied brand that has a lot of history, similar to Arc'teryx, but at the same time it's just a little bit different and has a cool design pattern on it as well. Next, we have the Klettermusen, I think that's how you pronounce it, but the Klettermusen Uller Beanie, I think is what it's called. So this one is probably a direct competitor to this, has a lot of sport heritage with it included, similar sort of composition as well, and looks the same. There's a cream and a red. I like both. I think the cream is the one to get though. And they're known for being super durable, very warm, and has a very similar vibe to this. While still being unique in its sense that not a lot of people know about it. It does have blue accents on it, so when you style it, you do have to sort of factor in those blue accents. However, it's a little bit nitpicky. It does look very much like this. Secondarily, I also have any of the Gramici beanies that are popular as well. I guess if this is basic, that's one step away from not being basic, is to go with the Grimici ones. But again, similar vibe to this, direct competitors, and with all three of these, you can't go wrong. Lastly, for the more expensive category, usually this is something that I normally don't recommend, and in this instance, part of the course, the same deal. I have the Jacquemus E-Spiral beanie. Big branding on the front, 100% wool composition, similar beanie with a luxurious feel, probably thicker knit. Probably you can use it when you ski or snowboard, not underneath the helmet, but you know, when your helmet's off. Again, too expensive, even on, I think I have an Essence, I see an Essence discount for half off. I still think it's too expensive. I'm not a fan of the branding in the front. Even though this has branding, at least this signifies some form of sport, right? There is, with this logo comes a lot of brand recognition and brand sort of build up and foundation. With that, you don't really get a sporty vibe. It's mostly just to wear in the winter. Again, I think the midpoint with the Grimicis and with the Klettermusen Uller is going to set you right way better than that. And then also the more expensive front, on a thicker front, again, you can't probably wear this with a helmet, is the And Wander mohair beanie. That's super cool, that's super sick, that's around the same price point, and it's mohair from another great outdoor brand like And Wander. So if you're going to spend over $100, I would go that route. All right, now that we've done sort of all the analysis and things like that, let's get into my favorite part of the videos. And we're gonna see if it's basic or not based on how I style it, but let's go style this. On the top, we have our beanie, my vintage Oakley Minutes in silver, a cropped vintage Nike sweater, Yeezy Gap hoodie. I have the Uniqlo Cashmere Cream turtleneck, Yeezy Gap pants, some cream Yeezy Gap socks, and then the 97 bullets. Okay, welcome to the fit. Today, you know, I felt, you know, we're gonna go a little bit more casual. The beanie's kind of a bit more casual. And so we're gonna go with my usual casual style, which is 90s punk. But as usual, we're gonna be going into fit, contrast, and proportion, or FCP, my proprietary framework to style anything and everything, including this beanie. So starting off with fit. Fit is the easiest to get right, as I always say. You know what works well on your body versus what doesn't. Essentially what you're supposed to be looking for is anything that should be snagging, anything that should be more structural but loses its structure because it's too loose. You kind of know what works on your body versus what doesn't. This is kind of the easiest to get right, and because of that, you know, I'm kind of advanced in my style, so it's not gonna really affect me. But a good rule of thumb is what did the designer have in mind when they made this garment? What did the designer have in mind when it was supposed to flow on top of the body or be tied towards the body? Do you adhere to that vision? Is there anything uncomfortable for you with fit? But you know, with 90s punk, my usual casual style again, it's very loose, usually, especially in the winter. Comfortable fabrics, easy to use fabrics, nothing tight, nothing taut like leather or pleather, or anything uncomfortable like latex. So in terms of this, fit is on point. Next we have contrast. So there's contrast in colors and contrast in textures. I always say you have to complete the circle. When you have contrast, you have to show flow and harmony throughout the entirety of the outfit. So say for example, I have red here, I have red here. You've completed one half of the circle with the hoodie, the other half of the circle with the bandana. You've shown that flow, you've completed the circle. As with the other colors, we have black on the gloves, black on the shoes, black on the logo here, probably black somewhere else, even on the lenses of my sunglasses. So you've completed the circle on black. Then you have gray over here, kind of gray silvery on the shoes, gray silvery on the glasses. You've completed the circle on that gray silvery color. Then you have cream over here on this cropped overshirt that I did myself, and then cream on the socks, and of course cream on the beanie, and beige on the beanie as well. So you've completed the circle on that end too. So about 4 colors, complete the circle on those ends. You can see how complete the outfit is, even though there's asymmetry with the bandana on the left hand side. Oh, there's also red on my shoes as well, accenting. So pretty good so far when it comes to contrasting colors. Next, we have contrasting textures. In this case, it's all low to medium pile stuff, knitwears, cotton, more of the weave of the garments, everything. You've completed the circle on there as well, at least with this outfit, because it's mostly low pile, kind of medium pile with the gloves here, but then medium pile again with the knitwear of the hat as well. So you've completed the circle on medium pile and on low pile. Lastly, we have proportion. Proportion, as I say, is the hardest to get right. It's also what's absolutely necessary to style this beanie. The reason why is because it kind of makes your head into a kind of a phallic looking object, and so what ends up happening is you have a point at the top of your head, and in order to balance out this point, you can do a variety of things. The easiest way that I think to style this beanie is, when it comes to proportion, is to use the triangle proportion. The triangle proportion. So you want to go wider at the base and then slowly narrow it down as you go up to the top. Now, it's fairly cold in Toronto, which is why I have a hoodie underneath this crop sweater. But otherwise, maybe in the springtime, I would not have the hoodie at all, not have the bandana, so I would take away the red, and it would just be narrowing from the wide sweatpants up to the top. And then this is a shape that is agreeable to the human eye. This is a shape that is known to the human eye for, thousands of years. Obviously, you know math, triangles, and there's also inverted triangles, hourglass proportion, etc. But this is what is usually needed to style this beanie because of the awkward kind of proportion that it puts on your head. All right, guys, so that's the fit right here. We're gonna go outside. We're gonna go get coffee with a friend of ours. We're gonna take you along for the ride, and also kind of talk about, do you buy into basic items? Do you want to differentiate yourself? But how do you differentiate yourself? And I have some key tips and some advice on styling basic things that could set you apart from other people that rock it, while at the same time still buying into maybe a product that you like and you don't care if it's basic. All right, it's freezing cold. I'm already starting to cry, but the beanie is super warm. That's the one thing about, it's super cold, it's windy, but I think with the polyester and wool hybrid, it's a perfect amount. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of man-made fibers, the perfect amount of stops the wind, keeps you warm. I don't feel, because it was already worn beforehand, and usually hats like this give me headaches, I don't feel like that. So see if you can put it in the wash, stretch it a little bit, just get it so that you're not getting a headache. So, coffee in hand, bug eyes on lock. But what I wanted to talk about very quickly is, even if something is basic, it's basic for a reason. It's basic because it looks good. It's basic because people online find out how to style it, when to style it, and then they leverage it time and time again. What you have to do is buy the basic item that you like. Buy the basic item that gives you joy, but learn how to style it differently. Tie in other styles, tie in different proportions. With this hat, not a lot of people dress the way I'm dressed right now with this hat. They go a bit too basic. They just wear a basic long sleeve. They wear some jeans. They wear their Arc'teryx beta jacket. Add in different items. Again, take that proportion to the next level. Get that hourglass proportion. Get this triangle proportion. If you want to rock it in the summer, accentuate that triangle proportion. Buff out the shoulders. Make sure that the hips and the legs and the quads and everything goes up into that triangle. And you'll look a lot different than other people. A lot different, and yet you'll rock the same item. You can rock basic items. Is it basic because everybody wears it? Yes. But also at the same time, can you style it differently so that it matches your personality? Also, yes. Okay, so that's it for me. Gonna go meet up with a friend right now for another coffee, I guess. But I shall see you in the next one. Peace.